What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Do Crew. This is Ball Hawk, the Father Motherfunder of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Lions Talk Live, it's just before 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think we all get it. Everybody's over the jibber jabber of the trade deadline and what's going to happen, what might happen, what might not happen, who's going where, who's on first, who's on second. We're all going to have to pay attention and watch and see what transpires between today, this weekend, and then, yes, going in the trade deadline, which is now just days away, let's be honest. But I do want to pass on to you, which is the point of this story, as you can probably tell from the thumbnail here within, that Forbes magazine, if you guys aren't fully aware of who Jesse Reed is, he's a contributor, he's worked for the Sacramento-based newspapers, among other spots. He's worked in New York, he's worked in Washington, he's worked for a gajillion different entity newspapers, and he is a guy with a lot of inside information. That's why I wanted to put a little bit more credit to this, but he believes that there is strong potential that up to 4 different trade scenarios could unfold between now and the cutoff, which I think we all know is Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. I don't remember off the top of my noggin, but any rate, he even has a quote interview here that he doesn't give the name of the source, but this is a direct quote from his publication here in Forbes today. Just goes on to say, it is my belief that the Detroit Lions and Brad Holmes have already negotiated a couple different scenarios for a few different players. End quote. Then the quote resumes after a little bit of speculation. It's my belief that the Detroit Lions have already put in the framework for a couple different possibilities to come on over based on how this weekend's games go. End quote. And it goes on to talk about during the interview with this source of his that he believes that a lot of teams are on the cusp of giving up on their season. What does that mean? Well, Sunday, your team doesn't win. You probably have a realistic thought process that your team's not going to make the postseason. You're not going to be good to go. You may want to sell off some parts. Some of these teams already have sold off some parts, so I get it. Why? Hey, if you lose this week, you know what? You're probably going to look on to acquire more assets for your future. All right, then he goes on discussing the topic with an anonymous NFL general manager. And this is from a second source. This isn't from the lead source, Jesse Reed, the journalist. But this goes on to include aspects he's referencing to through a source he knows or works with often over at the Athletic. And that's Dana Rusney, if I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. If not, I apologize. But this quote from the Athletic says, one GM told me he thought Detroit would target Cincinnati's Trey Hendrickson. End quote. Then resume quote. The Bengals, however, rarely move off their players. Hendrickson seems like a long shot to me. Some other names that have come up in regards to the Detroit Lions are Tennessee's Arden Key, which I get. We all just saw him. Dude's super fast. A lot of fans would love him. The Giants, Ojulari, and I'm not even going to try the first name. I always kill it, so please forgive me. So those two have also been people that have popped up in rumors and speculations. And yes, if you read on the story, there is the ties to Cleveland that, yes, Zadarius Smith could potentially become a Lion. Could it be that this could happen? I don't know. I think we're all getting a little long in the tooth with the trade speculation. But you know what? It does sound like you have more and more people coming out and confirming that Brad Holmes may indeed actually already have the framework for a few different trades in place. Who would you say you would rather have? I think it's becoming a little less optimistic for most Lions fans to say, hey, that a Max Crosby or Myles Garrett type player are going to part ways and come over to Detroit. I guess we'll find out by Tuesday. But some of these other trades, I get with Hendrickson being a little bit older, his contract situation, etc. I could understand them moving on from him. Although, again, if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, like this article goes on and says, if you win this weekend, you're in the thick of the playoffs, I would think. And yes, you're not moving off him. But some of these other teams, Awari from the Giants, I think that makes some sense. Key from Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee's already sold off some spots. some assets. So I would again understand a little bit further trying to move on to acquire more future considerations for your franchise versus a diminishing return on a product that's only going to get worse over time as we all age. So, all right, you got a lot of you guys this morning who are asking for trade updates. You know, I get going to the weekend, things get a little slow, so there you go. But again, I might not have thrown a whole lot of credence into this, except Jesse Reed has been around for a really long time, multiple different newspapers, and, you know, he knows his stuff. He knows people on the inside. And then, again, you got the other aspects of The Athletic, Rusney adding into this contributing article. So I think it's at least potentially out there that somebody has already talked to somebody, and you are seeing some people over at Woodward Sports or 97.1 Point the Ticket, or among other places, kind of coming to the same conclusion. This Sunday may be not just a Lions cheering on the team to win, but also cheering against some teams to lose to help further the opportunity for the Lions to acquire some assets. I think we all understand Brad Holmes isn't going to overpay for anybody. The realistic opportunity to give up a first or second to acquire somebody, that doesn't seem like something he's more than likely going to do unless it's just something he's going to catch us off guard with. But the idea of selling off maybe a fifth, a sixth, a seventh, or something like that, a future asset for something now, that does seem like a Brad Holmes move. Okay, I'll get out of your hair, let you guys get on back into your day. But if there is some sort of breaking news later today, I'll get it over to you as quick as possible. Otherwise, take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody. Oop, got the wrong buttons here. My bad, my bad.
Happy trail.